Todd, what do you mean you want to fire all of these Gen Z employees? Yes, you just hired them all within the last 6 months. If you didn't want to work with them, why did we hire them in the first place? You think they're lazy. And to be clear, what is that based on? Is it based on their output? They don't greet you when you walk by in the hallway, and they work from home too much, okay? You don't like the way they dress. Todd, you understand this is our failure, right? You personally interviewed all of these employees. And if I remember correctly, you said this was going to be a great solution because you were going to pay them way below what we typically pay for these positions.
I don't know if you guys have seen recently, about 60% of companies have been laying off Gen Z employees. And it also says that 75% of workers had unsatisfactory performance. Apparently, they're getting fired for lack of motivation, professionalism, and lack of communication skills. It's crazy, actually, that how many people get fired, but most of these companies don't care about their employees. It's so funny to me why they expect Gen Zers to exceed their expectations.
Do you think that might be in play at all here? No, it's just the laziness. Some of these employees haven't even completed their training programs. These are entry-level positions. You've heard that other CEOs are doing this and you're looking to jump on the trend. You know me, I love when layoffs are a trend. Do you have any actual documented performance issues? No? Okay, that checks out. Maybe I'll just write, Todd doesn't like you on their dismissal letters. No, of course, that was a joke. This is definitely a joke.
It doesn't make any sense to me because one, you're not even giving them great pay. Especially with Gen Zers, they're starting them low as shit just because it's entry level. So they're getting maybe base minimum pay or below that, and they expect these people to have great professionalism, great communication skills. It used to be a different time period back in like the 80s where jobs actually, worked for the people. Nowadays, jobs just see as a number, they just try to replace you. So it's like, why would you even try to exceed their expectations when they could just find someone else in a snap of a finger? It doesn't make any sense. Hence the reason why performance, levels aren't doing so well, because Gen Zers just don't put up with anything. We're not just going to sit there and take it and then you expect us to exceed expectations, like staying fucking, 2 hours past our shift, get overtime. Why would we get overtime? We don't even want to be here in the first place. Why would we exceed expectations and pick up someone else's slack? It doesn't make any sense at all. And when it comes to communication skills and professionalism, my biggest thing is professionalism has to go both ways. Most of the time in these companies, they could talk to you however they want to or do whatever to you and act unprofessional the whole entire time. But the moment you break out of character and you're not professional, that's when these jobs start feeling some type of way, or these companies or your boss, your manager, they start feeling some type of way because you're not professional. But then the whole time, they weren't professional throughout the duration of your time working there. Professionalism has to go both ways. It's easy to blame the other person when you don't want to reflect on yourself, or, obviously companies aren't going to maybe think about, hey, maybe we're doing something wrong here. Maybe we're, not training them right. Maybe we're not, maybe we're not being professional. Maybe we're unprofessional, but, they rather blame someone else being unprofessional than themselves. It's easy to blame someone else than, look within. And with the whole communication skills, I could low-key agree with that part, but to a certain extent. One, because I already know Gen Zers, we talk out of turn. And when I say talk out of turn, we don't put up with shit. So it's like, if someone says something crazy to you, let me give a good example. Your manager comes to you, hey, so-and-so didn't complete this task on their shift. Would you mind, completing this task and doing your work on top of that, and then completing someone else's task as well? And you're just like, no. And they're like, no. What do you mean no? Because at that point in time, it's not really my work anymore. Now you want me to do my work and then someone else's work and then some on top of that. Nothing wrong to say no, but I can see where they're coming from, because usually jobs don't like when you push back against them, especially when they ask you to do something. And I know it's annoying, especially when it's not your job technically, but they expect you to go out your way and be like, yeah, sure, I'll handle that. This generation, we're not doing that, bro. This generation is based off of, we do the bare minimum, we come in on time, we leave on time. We're not staying any extra minutes over, extra hours over. We're not doing no overtime. And we're definitely not doing someone else's work that didn't finish. I see where they're coming from, but I could also see from the other side how that can be annoying. But at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, like, would you want to do someone else's work?
Gen Zs are getting fired at alarming rates. My dad just sent me this article which talks about how 6 in 10 employers are already talking about firing the Gen Zs they hired only a couple months ago. I'm a Gen Z myself, so I thought this was really interesting. Especially because in the article, it talks about a lot of the stuff that I talk about here on this platform. According to the article, here's a reason why a lot of the Gen Zs are getting canned. They come unprepared to do the job at hand. Blame whatever you want, but as I've said many times on this platform, just having the degree isn't enough. You can cheat your way through college and come out with no skills. Then when you get on the job, you're going to have a rude awakening.
And if that's the case, your expectations through the roof. And I'm glad I'm not working for you, because there's no way you already expect that much straight out of college. And after getting your degree and coming onto the job with no skills, and he's talking about a rude awakening, of fucking course. Who in the right mind comes out of any type of degree with all the skills needed? That's never, no. I don't know where you're from or where they do that at, bro, but that's not true. You're not supposed to come straight out of college. Even if you cheated or not cheated, you're not going to come straight out of college with all the knowledge you need to know to do all your tasks at work. Yeah, because most of the times you come out of college, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Someone has to clearly guide you on how to properly, complete these tasks that you're supposed to do at your job. The only way you probably have experience doing something like that is if you get like an internship while you're in school, right?
Number 2, genuinely not wanting to do the work. Gen Zs want to arrive late and leave early and do the absolute bare minimum and generally are very low initiative. It is unreasonable to expect a great work-life balance, high-paying job straight out of college. Number 3, being unprofessional and generally having very poor communication skills. How you look, talk, and act matter, no matter what job you're doing. If you're going to work, dress nice. Learn how to speak up, speak confidently, give firm handshakes. By the way, I do think that Gen Z faces unique challenges that a lot of other previous generations haven't. But every generation goes through unique struggles, so it's important for us as Gen Z to recognize them and try and improve upon them. So work hard during college, have realistic expectations when you get out of college, learn how to be professional and communicate effectively, and follow me for content.
And then he's talking about dressing nice and giving firm handshakes. All that's cute and all, but most of the time, it really doesn't matter, bro. You can still get fired either way. I don't know what this guy is talking about. I get where he's coming from, but let's say you dress nice, you speak well, you have great communication skills, very professional. If the job needs you gone, they're going to get you gone. Doesn't matter if you're a great worker or not. That's just how it is. It's always been like that. I don't know what Looney Tune fantasy world he's talking about. I agree with some of the points that he made, and I see both sides of the spectrum. But from what point of view you're talking about, you're saying, one, you're putting a lot of blame on Gen Z, because both sides have a problem, obviously. And he's just coming from a perspective of what, the company might see. And I agree, and maybe there's some changes that Gen Z could make that could better their, situation in securing jobs. But you're telling me 60% of jobs lay Gen Z years off without a single thought in your mind, it might be companies having a issue internally, then I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Earlier this week, my team was looking at all the forms.
Sorry, Owen, before you start, Catherine, can you actually turn your camera on? We sent out a memo last week. It's required for all team meetings going forward.
Sure, yep.
Catherine, where are you?
Curious right now? I'm at Suntastic.
Okay, I thought you were taking a work from home day, not a work from tanning bed day.
We have a client in 15 minutes. Right, and I'll be tan for it. And I also have a wedding this weekend, and this is the only time I had to come.
Okay, that's really not the company's problem. And honestly, Catherine, it's not a priority for you to be tan. It's a priority for you to have the deliverable done on time for the client meeting.
This should be deliverable. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have to report you again from HR. This is the 5th time you've done this.
I'm going to report you for attacking me verbally.
Bro, the look on Owen's face, bro. Bro, mans took off his camera so quick. He was like... Bro looked genuinely confused. He's like, what the fuck? Where's this bitch at right now? If you're doing shit like this, you deserve to get fired. Like, what are you doing? You're showing up to a video call meeting that's a mandatory video call at a tanning salon on camera Bro, come on now, bro. On the clock? What are you doing? Now I can't even defend a Gen Zer at this point. Like, if you're doing stuff like that as a Gen Zer, you deserve to get fired, bro. Like, what are you doing? I can see where both sides are coming from. When you got people doing shit like this, that's making Gen Z look terrible. But then no one talks about the company side though. I don't see a lot of people talking about how companies treat employees, whether it be Gen Z or not. They don't care about their employees, bro. They don't give a fuck, okay? They don't. They never did. They never will. They don't give a fuck, but then they expect you to do above and beyond for them. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I can see where both sides pan out, but at the end of the day, you're telling me 60% of jobs are laying off Gen Zers without a single thought in their minds that maybe they might be the problem? Then they're the issue, because they gotta look internally and see why they letting go so many Gen Zers, because 60% is a lot. That's a lot. I don't know why all these people are getting fired. Honestly, what could even fix the problem? We don't even know. I can't even say it's discrimination at this point, but it feels like it low-key is like ageism, but for younger people. There's so many stereotypes about Gen Z work ethic and whatnot, without a single thought in anyone else's mind that maybe the company might be the problem. Jobs really used to, care about people a little bit more, at least. Used to give incentives, bonuses, raise, promotions. None of that's happening anymore, but then they expect everything out of you. If you don't meet that expectation, then you're fired. If you don't break expectations, if you do the bare minimum, you're fired. Below the bare minimum, you're fired. So either way, you're fucked. I don't know. So it is what it is, man, I guess. That's pretty much all I want to talk about today. So yeah. Peace.